Hi, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions. That we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. And coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. We like to say, boy, there are a lot of things going on in boxing. If you haven't heard, we're remembering the great Jose Suleiman, who was president of the WBC for a long time. He did so much for boxing in terms of rules, regulations, safety, all kind of things Jose Suleiman did. And if he was living, he would be 94 years old. And to the Suleiman family, we want to say God bless you and your family for bringing this remembrance of Jose Suleiman. He would be 94 if he was living. And boy, I had a lot of great times with Jose Suleiman, the WBC in his tenure. They named me Trainer of the Year for the WBC, and all the great work for decades after decades that Jose Suleiman did for the WBC. And not only that, for his great son, Mauricio Suleiman, who is now the president of the WBC. They do a great job reaching out around the world for fighters and things like that. And a great tournament they have uh, going on in Saudi Arabia that's putting a lot of boxers to work by giving them the opportunity to fight the Grand Plex tournament over there with Turk Al Sheikh and Mauricio Suleiman. They're doing a yeoman job to try to uh, find today somebodies where people are nobody. They turn them into somebodies when you have tournaments like that. And tournaments are always great. And Jose Suleiman would be very joyful to see that his son, who's president now, are doing such great things in that realm to put a great tournament with over 100 and some fighters from around the world merging and coming up. So that tournament is still going on. And the second part of it, the first part already happened. The winners are moving to the second part. Then there's going to be a third part. But all of this in the remember of the great Jose Suleiman. And for the Jack Johnson exhibit that we have, that we take around to different communities and around the world to let Jack Johnson know who Jack Johnson was, the first African American heavyweight champion. Jose Suleiman, and as his tenure as WBC president, in 2013, Jose Suleiman started the drive to get Jack Johnson a pardon. He wrote to many presidents from his office in Mexico City is that Jack Johnson should receive a pardon. He wrote letters to Barack Obama, uh, uh, George Bush, Bill Clinton, for them to pardon him. But however, once the wheels of justice get spinning, no one knows the twists and the turns that it takes in order for things to happen like that. And I happen to be a part of all of that with Jose Suleiman as an ambassador. And I want to thank him for making me one of his official ambassadors when he was living. And, to see great things like that come to fruition, where Jack Johnson got departed from now President Donald Trump in 2019 in his first term in office. That's when he pardoned Jack Johnson. We want to thank the President Donald Trump for doing such a great thing, pardon a great hero, not only to the African American communities, but around the world as Jack Johnson fought and went around the world. But it was all kicked off by Jose Suleiman. And we want to thank Jose in his grave and remembering him for his fourth birthday if he was living. Hats off. But when you talk about Jose Sulaiman, you have to look back in time. These two great figures, Don King, who will be 94 in August, boy, them two uplifted boxing second to none, where they made a lot of great uh, champions and contenders and all of that. And for the listening audience, if you do not know, Don King just won the purse bid by bidding $1,100,000 to put on the Michael Hunter and Pula championship bout. Michael Hunter is a former on the Olympic team as an amateur. He was a standout in the United States. And a lot of people, when they talk about where some of the great boxers in the heavyweight division that are in the United States, uh, they try to skip over Michael Hunter. But Michael Hunter is one of those good fighters. The only loss that he has is to the undisputed champion on a split decision with Usyk. So he's biting at the bit to climb up the ladder for the WBA, and Don King has won that. So we're waiting a date and time for that. And to congratulate Don King at 94 years old, he's still finding a way. He never gives up. He never gives in. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He's been knocked down, kicked out, and picked up. And that's the sign of true greatness, is when it looks like you're like the eyes of the phoenix. No sooner it looks like you have reached the finish, you're like the phoenix birds, you get a brand new spark. And this here is a brand new spark for Don King to try to get back in that echelon of the heavyweight division. So let's move it on. As We're going to bring it right here to Florida. In June 13th, 2025, Phil Alessi promotion at the downtown Hilton. He's going to be putting on a fight. The address to that is 211 North Tampa, Florida, down there in thing. Phil Alessi with Alessi's Bakery. His father used to do fights. Phil's start doing a lot of fights now in the Tampa area, and we ask that you go out and attend that. It's always exciting. Phil Alessi, what a great guy, great promoter. Get on out there and see that. It's something great and amazing, and it's something to look forward to when it comes to in Florida local boxing events. But also the NABF, which is the North American Boxing Federation, has elected an interim president, a female, Joanne. We want to send our congratulations out to you in your 57-year history of the NABF. Joanne is now the first president of the NABF, which has 57-year history. And boy, that's good. That's good to see in a man's sport for a woman to be president. It shows the progress that boxing has had to elect a female as president. Hats off to the NABF for doing such a great job to elect her. So as we go down the thing for boxing, we have Taylor versus Serrano 3 at Madison Square Garden. It will be Friday, July 11th, 2025, and with Most Valuable Promotion, and that's going to be seen on Netflix. So we want you to tune in to that event at Madison Square Garden. It's an all-women's card in Madison Square Garden. That's something unique in itself. But you know, to see a woman's all card, they've been held down and held out for so long. To see Madison Square Garden and boxing promoters going to take the risk to seek the reward to make an all-female card in Madison Square Garden. That is absolutely great to see. And also in July, Carissa Shields is going to fight July 26th to defend her title in Michigan. So, boy, there's a lot going on in women's boxing and boxing, period, really, to see that happening. And tonight, you have Cello and quite a bit of fighters fighting tonight on Prime Video. So tune into that on Prime Video. And it looks like there's problems with the big fight for September. And we're going to see how the twists and turns. You know, anytime when it's real big, there's always certain things that come up for time to time with Canelo Alvarez and Crawford. You know, somewhere at the table, things fall apart and it's on 1 minute and it's off the next minute. Let's see if Turk Al Sheikh can hold this thing together to put something on great to make things happen. So as that fight is falling out for Turk Al Sheikh, another fighter, Telavito Lopez, he's falling out with Turk Al Sheikh about some agreement, something. So now these promoters and people that are investing in boxing, now they're seeing the problems that other great promoters have of trying to keep these big fights together and how you can handle the mass egos that these fighters have in at the table and see if you can get them to come together to sign. Like Muhammad Ali told me a long time ago, he said, man, when they're signing these contracts for big fights, he says, man, let me tell you something. When they got millions and millions of dollars on the table, he said, you grab the pen and you sign quick, fast, in a hurry, because you keep arguing and pushing them around, meaning the promoters and stuff that are putting the money up. They may say, okay, snatch the contract back and say, why am I paying this fool all of this money? And you end up with nothing when you have potentials to make millions and millions of dollars. And I know on the negotiating table, it's a push and pull situation, but nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And if you want to do something great, you got to take great risks to take the great reward. And it don't come either way. You want certain guarantees or something. When you take certain guarantees or something, you lessen the back end of what you're going to get. When you take a risk to seek the reward on the back end, you get more. It's just plain and simple. You know, you can't have it both ways. You want it all on the front end. You don't want to take no risks, and you want it all on the back end. You know, things just don't happen like that. And, you know, man, in a big fight, there's really no losers. Man, when you're making millions and millions of dollars like that, and somebody's willing to put it up, man, take it and take the risk, man, to seek the reward and go ahead and do it. Get to do it, Floyd. The boxing community wants to see it happen. You know what I mean? So eventually, I believe all of them will come to their senses and realize, hey, look, there's something big in the makings, and let's make it happen. Because whoever loses, there's no losers when you're in a big fight. You know, all great champions have been beat somewhere in a big fight, but as the boxing public look back to those big fights, they don't remember too much about who lost. They just remember it was a great fight and it was a great show. So, hey, look, man, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show. We had Steve Canton from the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame on last week. What a great show. We're asking people to come out and support the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, which is June 20th to the 23rd at the St. Petersburg Hilton. What a great time. And there's opportunities for to buy spots in the program So your business card or anything, just get online, see if you contact Steve and buy some ads and stuff like that. It's just a great thing. You can put your fighters in there. And also, if you're a manager, you buy a card ad or buy a full page ad to promote your fighter or something like that. It goes a long way because there's boxing community people all in, and it's going to be a sold out event. There's only a few tickets left, so uh, get your tickets for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. And also, in closing, we'd like to invite you down to the IBF convention. It's going to be at Caesars Palace in Atlantic City, New Jersey, from June 1st through the 5th, and that's coming up. It's going to be a lot of great champions there. And Darrell People, who's president, man, just get online on the IBF website and purchase your ticket, and then you can go to the dinner. You can go to different events that you can purchase. All of it's affordable. But hey, man, that's a great event that the IBF is putting on, and their awards at the awards dinner that they have is second to none. So, man, go see the IBF convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So we want to thank you for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions, as we travel the world for past, present, and future stars.